Hey, what's up everybody? This is Osberg501 and today I want to go over what I think is the best build for the HK416 in Escape from Tarkov. Now with all the recoil changes to this wipe, this weapon is actually usable again. There were pretty much multiple years where this weapon really couldn't be used effectively, and primarily that's because this has a fire rate of 850. Now something like the M4, which is usually what would be used at the end game, only has a fire rate of 800, and in EFT the fire rate of the weapon has a massive impact on how the weapon feels to use in terms of recoil. So this weapon is again actually usable. You can actually spray people down and still have that higher fire rate. And with the full build with a 60 rounder PMAG, this current build has 30 ergo, 40 vertical recoil, and 109 horizontal recoil. It's going to have a pretty decent kick on the first couple shots, but then if you keep spraying, it'll level out pretty heavily. So you're just going to have to pull down on the initial few bullets of the spray. And even though 30 ergo seems kind of low, it's still very usable with this weapon. So starting off, we're going to be having our sight. I'm just using an EOTech XP-S30, but you can use any sight you want on this. It's 5.56, really good muzzle velocity, so you can use any long range sight if you want to. You can easily put a razor on this thing and have probably one of the better snipers in the game just because of the higher muzzle velocity. If you use like M995, you can easily snipe people at pretty much the maximum ranges you can in EFT. Then we're going to be having one rear sight. Just use either the tan or the black M-Bus Gen 2s, gives you an additional ergo. Then we're going to be using the Crux 15 for the handguard. Then for our charging handle, you're going to use any of the three charging handles that gives +3 ergo. I think it's both the Raptors, either Raptor or Raptor Gray, or the Avalanche. And this is going to be pretty good because it's one piece that gives you 3 additional ergo, and you need all the ergo you can get with this weapon. Then we're going to be using the 20-inch barrel. It is a very long weapon, so it's not going to be as good in super close quarters. But with that being said, in close quarters, this weapon has 850 RPM. Shooting at 5.56, so close quarters you're still going to be really good in terms of killing potential. It's just going to be a little unwieldy to be going through doorways and stuff like that. Then we're going to be having the enhanced buffer tube, and on that I'm going to be using the PRS Gen 3. Now this is the lowest recoil stock, but it doesn't have that good of ergo. Now a lot of people are also using the Magpul Mo carbine stock with the butt pad on it. Now that's going to increase the recoil slightly. I think it's an increase of 2 vertical recoil, but it's going to give you a decent amount of additional ergo. So you can choose between those two depending on what you want more. If you want slightly lower recoil, PRS Gen 3. If you want that slightly higher ergo, I think it's actually going to be like almost 10 higher ergo, you go with the Mo stock with the butt pad. Then for the pistol grip, we're going to be using the Growl S. You can also use the Ergo PSG-1. They're basically the exact same grips. Usually the Growl S is going to be cheaper. Now you can use whatever you want for the magazine. The 5.56 rifles have ridiculous amounts of options, but if you're fully building this weapon, it's going to be pretty expensive. I'd recommend using 60 rounders. You have the round PMAG that I have in here. This is going to give better ergo, but it's going to be much more expensive. Then you have the silver Mag 5s. That's going to give 2 less ergo, but these are much cheaper, and the barter for them is actually really cheap compared to most other 60 rounders. So pretty much just use what you have, but if you're super endgame and can easily get the PMAGs, just use those. Then for our grip, we're going to be putting any of the 4.1 inch rails on it. Then we're going to be using the Stark SE5. This is going to be a very high ergo grip, the best high ergo grip in the game. Now, if you're somebody that is used to using or is fine with using much lower ergo weapons, you could go with the RK1. This gives lower recoil, but also a decent chunk lower ergo. And then if you really don't care about ergo, you could use the RK2, which is pretty much going to half your current ergo, but also give you -3 on vert recoil and -8 on horizontal. So if you're going full no ergo build, you can use an RK2. Then for our tactile device, we're going to be using the M-Lock cantilever mount, and then whatever tactile device you like to use. I like the Baldar Pros, but any tactile device you want to use is going to be completely fine. Then finally, for our muzzle devices, we are using the Griffin Armament G-Lock, and then on that, we have the Griffin Armament Sound Suppressor. Now this is going to be decently expensive, and I think this is somewhat new if I'm not mistaken, but this is going to give you the lowest recoil, and it's also going to give you higher ergo than using something like the Silencer Co. muzzle device and suppressor. But that's all I want to go over, so subscribe if you want to see more Escape from Tarkov or other FPS videos. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about this HK416 build, and thanks for watching.
Резче давай, пошел!
Вон он, блядь, ебашь его! Ах ты хер ебучий! Ага. Так барыгам крутит. Левый коронный, правый по... Вон он, сука! Сдохни, тварь! Давай, мочи!
Где там раки ебаные?